Welcome to Bent Not Broken, where life's imperfections become new beginnings. Join us as we build, grow, learn, and laugh our way through healing, homesteading, retirement, and everything in between, because we may be bent, but we're never broken. Well, hello. Today is August 1st. It's a little after 1 o'clock. Um, Today's a big day. Today is 6 months retired. Um, and it's weird. The longest I ever went without a job was about 2 months, and I was going crazy. Like I'm somebody that's got to work, but I have learned a tremendous amount about so many different things in 6 months. Jen is like baffled. She's like, you learn something new every day, and I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to. That's what they say, but when you work full time and you've got a family and you're trying to grow your family and all of that, it's hard to find the time to do these things. And it's funny though, because technically I got a 40 extra hours a week to be able to do stuff, but like I'm on my own time frame. And I was talking to Jen yesterday, and I'm like, I don't even know where the time goes. Like, I feel like I should have all this time, but I'm not accomplishing what I want to accomplish. And that was early yesterday morning, and then it was almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon when we finally got started with our day. And a little bit later, I was like, well, I learned where it goes. So I get up in the mornings, and Jen's either asleep, because I get up earlier than her, and I also go to bed way later than her. Y'all, I don't sleep. But anyways, I get up and take care of the dogs, let them out, feed them, make a big old cup of coffee, and I sit there, and then Ranger, he comes and he snuggles with me. He gets under the little blanket, and I take probably 3 hours on average, I would say, to sit there and drink my coffee. And that's when I'm scrolling on my phone and watching different reels, researching stuff, trying to plan my day. Occasionally I play games on my phone, just different, just hanging out, just chilling with the dogs. And I think the biggest thing I've learned in these 6 months is that it's really good to just slow down. So that's kind of been my goal. Just take things, one day at a time, one step at a time, and just live your life. I mean, sometimes things don't get done. Jen, on her days off, she always has a to-do list of what to do around the house, and she gets really upset. Sorry, I'm calling you out. But she gets really upset when she doesn't get it all accomplished. And I'm like, but we have tomorrow. Like wiping off the counters, or getting the floors vacuumed, or getting the laundry folded, whatever it is, like, it's fine. It's not going to hurt us. It's not very often that we have people come over, so if there's a little bit of dog hair on the floor or some crumbs from something that was eaten, who cares? We get that stuff done. Sometimes we just don't get it done on the day we wanted to. Like today, I'm going to vacuum the floors because she didn't get it done yesterday. But I did get the kitchen cleaned up. So yeah, I guess it's really two biggest things that I've learned. The kind of just slowing down and not letting anxiety take over, and just kind of do things at your own pace. But I'm gonna say this is the biggest. It's pretty close with that one, but the biggest thing is finding peace. I've never really had that in my life before, and let me tell you, it is absolutely amazing. I mean, having zero drama in your life, nobody's coming at you, nobody's backstabbing you, you're not fighting with anybody, you're not being a lesser person than you want to be, nobody's bringing out any bad habits in you. It is amazing. In the words of my mother, that day that she blew up, she understands why I'm really good at pushing people out of my life. I didn't understand it until I did cut some people out of my life. I cut out some friends and some family to make peace. And I really honestly wish I would have done that years ago, because it changes everything. You know, Jen and I almost never argue. We communicate well, and it's happy, it's healthy, and it's very weird for me, but I've really adjusted it, and I want peace. Um, Last week we tried to go over the stuff with my grandfather's will, and there was just so much fighting, and like nobody was seeing eye to eye, and people weren't communicating well. And so I tried to get in the middle and be like, all right, like this is what's up, because I was able to talk to everybody, but it's still just, it was too much. There was too much fighting, like bringing up the past and all that stuff. Just, it wasn't good. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to step out. Y'all figure it out. I'm going to live my life. And for the next 2 days, it was rough mentally. And I'm just, because it was just so hard. I mean, I feel like I gave those people a second chance, and they betrayed me. And the one person that I thought I was closest to my entire life was the most irrational, and I kind of had like a fuck you moment. I'm like, nah, I'm done. And I hate that. I don't understand why. I was not supposed to talk about my family. But I just don't understand why people can't get along. You know, the old saying, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. I think the more I go through life, especially since I've been retired, the old way of living is honestly the way to go, man. Like, I don't know, you treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, you work hard, you do what you gotta do, you build your family, you grow your family, you do for your family. And that's what my wife and I are doing. You know, I'm working hard trying to learn as much as I can about these gardening things and these preserving things, and I really wish my grandmother was still here, because this is the kind of stuff that she used to do. And back in the day, because she passed away when I was 13. Sadly, yesterday is actually the anniversary of that, so it was a little rough, but Jen and I made it through. She really helped me there, because it's always my worst day of the year. But I remember she always wanted me to go help her in the garden. And I hated it. She's like, we're pulling weeds today. And I'm like, this is stupid. Hated it. Now, yes, pulling weeds does absolutely suck, but it's necessary. And I wish that at that young age, you know, I would have been more invested in it and learned more from her. Because what I feel like people these days don't understand is all those traditions and all those skills are dying out. You know, how many people do you know that have a garden and grow their own vegetables and can? By the way, I've got a video coming. We canned for the first time yesterday. And we wanted to start with water bath canning, but with what we made, we had to go with the pressure canning. So that was a fun surprise. But we did it. And like, it might have took forever, and you know, we might have had a few speed bumps down the road, but like, we did it. And I am so proud of us, because we're learning all the things that people should know. I mean, these are skills, life skills that everybody should have. I mean, we've got our hydroponic tower in there, and I can't even tell you how many salads Jen has made from it. And guess what? She hasn't gotten the Taco Bell diarrhea one time. Like, I'm not one of those big conspiracy theorists or survivalists or whatever, but I just think that when you learn to do these things on your own and you can do it at your house, it may or may not save you money, especially in the beginning, because you got to get the beds and the soil and just all those things. But like, what I've been learning is seed saving. So next year, there's a lot of things that I'm not going to have to buy seeds for, because I have a surplus. I can give a bunch away. The community garden that I go to, if they need seeds, like, yo, I got you. I've got a bunch. And like, it's to the point where when we harvest different things, I'm not even saving the seeds, because I have so many already. That may or may not be a bad thing. I don't know. I'm new to it. We're learning. We're experimenting. Next year's going to be the big test to make sure that they germinate, to make sure I dried them properly, because I know one of them is a little skeptical. But like I truly enjoy learning all these things. I mean, doing the vermiculture right now with my worms, I'm trying to get them. I should have done it already, but I'm trying to get them to go down into the other bin so that I can take all the worm castings and put that out. Just trying to build up my beds and do all these things. And today, you see me sitting on the back of my truck. There was a lady on Facebook that was giving away a bunch of compost and soil mixed together, and I was like, hey, can I have some of that? And it really set my day off right. I had to go to Walmart, get me a new shovel, went there, met them. It seemed like a single mom and her 15-year-old son, and they were really chill, really cool people. And I could tell that they had some garden knowledge, but not other. And so they're just sitting there picking my brain. We're talking about it. The reason they were getting rid of stuff was they had wooden raised beds, and they ended up breaking, and all the soil spilled out and spilled into the neighbor's yard. So they're completely starting over. So this 15-year-old son, and it was a decent sized bed. I'd say it was probably where they had all the soil was probably like 50 feet by like 15 maybe. It was a very big area. And he had dug out all the soil and put it in this pile for people to come get it, because he said, my mom didn't want to bring in heavy machinery, so I did this all by myself. And I'm like, dang, dude. Like, I was giving this kid props. 15 years old and like working, not complaining, very respectable kid. And I was like, so you like gardening? He says, yeah, I love it. It's so fascinating. And like a 15-year-old was picking my brain about different things. He's like, have you ever grown lettuce? And I was like, actually, buddy. And I told him about the hydroponics, and I even showed him and his mom a little one that they can get online. I was like, $50-$60, man, you got it. You can grow lettuce indoor year round. There's other things like. It blew their mind. And then it was really funny. I looked at him and I go, have you ever had worms? And they're like, wait, what? And so I told them how to do a vermiculture bin, and this kid like lit up. Like, I think I could be best friends with a 15-year-old, but it was just really cool. You know, they were telling me some of the things that they knew, and they were picking my brain, and I left them with some good stuff. I'm not a professional gardener. I have not been doing this for a really long time. I've had very small gardens. They've always actually produced pretty good, but like, it was just really cool to be in like a gardening community kind of thing. And then I got a whole bunch of soil, and they're like, we've got tons more. So this is what I'm about to go use. I got to get my raised beds ready for potatoes and carrots, because it's time to do that. And this is, I don't even know how to estimate. We're just going to say this is probably like $200-ish of soil. I don't know. Soil's freaking expensive. But it's her garden soil mixed with cow manure, which is the exact same thing I use. Because I'll use, y'all, I'm cheap, and like, there's ways around this crap. Like, I have pretty fertile soil, as y'all have seen. Like, shit just grows every damn where. But I will buy the cheapest freaking topsoil. I'm talking like $2-3 a bag, because it's expensive now. And then I'll mix it with the cow manure, and then if I've got compost and stuff, you know, I'll do that. Because filling a raised bed is expensive. Punch buggy white, no punch back. That was cheating. Sorry, not sorry. So yeah, I'm excited. I mean, my back was bothering me the past couple days, but I woke up, I was feeling good, I was energized, and I'm like, let's go do this. I was nervous about it though, because we had to load it into a wheelbarrow, and then we got it to the truck, and the kid just looked at me, and I'm like, I think we're gonna have to pick the wheelbarrow up and kind of dump it. So we were doing small loads. We did all this in 30 minutes, and we had a lot of conversation. Like, it was cool. I could tell Mom was filling me out to see if like I was okay to leave with him. So the kid and I, because she just had she said ACL surgery. She's still recovering from that, so she couldn't like do a lot of bending and stuff. So she had the kid and I loading the wheelbarrow and taking it down to the truck, and then finally she was like, I'll stay here and kind of push it back for you guys. And I'm like, all right, bet. And it just, I don't know. It put me in a really good mood, and I'm still trying to find people that work at that community garden or volunteer there or however their system works, because I want to be a part of that. That's where we got okra from. That's where we got the pumpkins from. We've gotten a few different things there, and they grow things that I've never seen before. I even told these people when I was getting the soil about it, I was like, especially the kid. I was like, you like art, go check this out. Like, it is definitely worth your time. I'm not putting out there where this place is, okay? I don't want everybody going. But I did tell them, and they're super excited. He was like, we're going to go today. I'm like, okay. But I went by the community garden to try and catch somebody to see if they needed this. I was going to give it to them first because the other people have plenty. They're like, you can come back. And I'm like, well, let me see what I can do. And they're like, if you know anybody, like, please. So they're really trying to get rid of this soil so that they can get their new bed built. Now I'm just rambling. But anyways, long story short, 6 months retired. It feels good and bad. Like, some days I still feel like a bum because I'm like, why don't I go to a job? But I get paid to not, I guess. And I just, with my back being so inconsistent, I don't know what I could do. That's why some days I get a lot of stuff done. Some days I just couch surf, But finding peace and purpose is amazing. I hate that I'm not out there in the streets working and meeting people and trying to help people and having a small garden in the meantime, because I couldn't do this, most likely, if I was working like I was. But it's really nice to slow down. I mean, I got this truck, and when I drive it, it's windows down, radio on, and we cruise. Like, this truck can get up and go do whatever it needs to do, but it slows me down, and it's really refreshing. And I've got an older CD in there from late 90s, early 2000s, I don't know. And it's just chill. So retirement isn't quite what I thought it was going to be, but at the same time, it's nothing to complain about, I don't think. Good days, bad days. 6 months is a big deal, but we're doing it. Today I've got purpose. We're going to try and get the beds situated, get the dog some carrots, get us some potatoes, try and figure out what we're going to can next, keep learning about the gardens. Like, I don't have anything to complain about, and that's amazing. I don't know if anybody has felt just calm in their life, but it is amazing. I don't even have words for it. So, anywho, I'm going to shut up, stop rambling. I'm going to drink some more water. By the way, I drink so much more water now. I had to get a bigger bottle. This is my second one. By the time I'm done today, I'll probably have had 3 or 4 of these. Yeah. So, hydrate before you dihydrate. I'll show you guys the process of what I get done as I do it. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll see what I accomplish today while Jen's at work. Because Jen's, like, always at work, I feel like. Okay, bye. Yo, look at this. So I didn't do anything with the sunflowers after I harvested my potatoes because I didn't really need those raised beds. But now that it's August 1st, it is time to create a path. As you can see, these ones laid down because there's just so much. They're the branching Mexican sunflowers, which I'm not really sure how we got this variation, because last year from one of Jen's coworkers, we got almost like the mammoth ones, and they just had a really big head on it. Unfortunately, I didn't seed save, but them falling over seeded all of this. I planted 0 of these. 0. And I even transplanted a bunch to the back garden. But sadly, my raised beds, you can't even really see them, are back there along the fence line. And that's what I'm going to need again for my potatoes and to try carrots for the first time. So sadly, I'm going to have to chop down a decent amount of these. These ones are safe. I can save those guys because they're not in the way. Even when I go to get more bricks that I've got stacked up there to make another bed, which I'm likely going to have to do, that can stay. I'll probably just extend the beds further down. It's going to kill me to cut these things. I mean, they're planted all over, so ground level. A couple of them have popped up in the raised bed. But my fence is 6 foot tall. These things, that's 6, that's like 7, 8, 9. They're 9 and 10 feet tall, guys. They're taller than my shed. So when I get this done, I'll let you know what it looks like, but it's kind of sad. I really don't want to do it And I definitely can't cut them all because they're going to be good pollinators, and I'm going to end up needing those all over the garden because there's still, Jen's going to hear this, but there's still a couple things that may or may not have been planted in places that should be popping up relatively soon. And she has no idea about, but I know she is going to be thrilled. So I guess with these things, I'll probably cut a couple of the flowers, because once they're ready, the stems get pretty stiff. That one's a little bendy, but they're decent for bouquets. They're really not the best, but they'll do. So I'll probably make and in my opinion, these are not the prettiest sunflowers, but I've seen them everywhere. But I'll probably make a little bouquet for Jen. There's a couple that I saw that were dried out. Where was it? I don't know, this is a huge jungle, but a couple of the heads are dried out, so I'll be able to save some seeds from that to be able to use next year. Oh, my favorite thing, there are so many baby lizards, oh, I scared it, everywhere in my yard. I have never had so many lizards, it's nuts. But anyways, like I was saying, so I'm going to try and make a pretty bouquet for Jen. I'm going to save some seeds when I find the ones that are dried out and able to be saved. Miles is suggesting that I hang some upside down and dry them out. I'm probably not going to do that because these are not the prettiest sunflowers. Most of it's going to be chopped up and put into my compost. There it is. I knew I saw some dried ones. So that's going to be seeds. And then I'm going to let a good bit of this kind of dry out a little bit and wilt, which won't take long at all, and then I'll throw it in for the chickens and let them have a fun little time doing whatever chickens do with sunflowers. So, yay me. I wish these could be transplanted, but you can't really transplant sunflowers, so we shall see. Oh my god, guys, look at this trunk, this root system. So this is a sunflower that's self-seeded from some that I had last year. This is a different variation, so we definitely got cross-pollinated with, well, I believe these are Mexican sunflowers, but the root comes all the way there. It's in the ground here, branching out. See, I broke that one off accidentally, but I'm cutting it out anyways. This is in the ground. This thing is going everywhere. The root, there's a huge node here, but then it goes back and it's coming from somewhere inside my pile of logs. This is absolutely insane. Now, I'm newer to growing sunflowers. This is my second year. I've never seen something like this. It's crazy. That's all one sunflower, plus what I cut already because all the little branches. That's what I cut already. This is crazy. Oh my god, guys. Look at this trunk, this root system. So this is a sunflower that's self-seeded from some that I had last year. This is a different variation, so we definitely got cross-pollinated with, well, I believe these are Mexican sunflowers, but the root comes all the way there. It's in the ground here, branching out. See, I broke that one off accidentally, but I'm cutting it out anyways. This is in the ground. This thing is going everywhere. The root, there's a huge node here, but then it goes back and it's coming from somewhere inside my pile of logs. This is absolutely insane. Now, I'm newer to growing sunflowers. This is my second year. I've never seen something like this. It's crazy. That's all one sunflower, plus what I cut already because all the little branches. That's what I cut already. This is crazy. Alright, I've made a path. So that bed right there, that's the one I had potatoes in earlier this year. I'm going to leave the sunflowers that I can So one of my goals was actually to get these filled with soil and put like little basils, different herbs, and some different little pollinators like marigolds in it. This bed I hadn't used yet. There's a lot of soil. I threw some, I think actually those were the broken down sunflowers. Threw those in here, which very well could be why I have so many sunflowers growing here. What I didn't realize was the third bed has completely been taken over. We have all kinds of different trees, all these sunflowers. I've got briars back here. So that's a lot, because I was planning on at least one full potato bed and then hopefully 2 for carrots, because the dogs love them so much. But now I got to get all that cleared out, and I wasn't expecting that. And supposedly it's going to rain in like 2 hours. So I'm going to get this bed cleared up, get those sunflowers out. I'm going to leave the roots. I'm going to pull the weeds, and honestly probably a lot of these sticks that I have in here, because since I decided I'm going to use these beds for root crops, I need this soil to be loose. So all of that's going to get cleared out and kind of look like that one. And then I'll get some stuff and get this filled up. And hopefully we can get some plants going. But this is a bit of a mess. But I wanted to see what the sunflowers would do if I just left them, because I didn't need the beds at the time. And this was the end result. I don't hate it. That part a little bit, because I can't even remember what those trees are. I can't remember if they're the mimosa or something. Somebody tell me in the comments. But those things just pop up all over this yard. So I'm going to get all those cut out, get these out, and we'll see what happens. Yay, gardening! Low-key, I like enjoy the hell out of this shit. Even though it's a mess, like just being able to see the before and then the after, and I'm trying to document as much of it as I can. It's pretty impressive to look back and be like, man, I did that. So anyways, I'm going to shut up and get back to work. That is all for now. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Alright, here's where we're at. I have the small pile of stuff that I was hoping would break down faster from that one bed, so that's cleared out. Here, sadly, it's bigger than it looks. I know that's what she said, but it is. It's a massive pile of sunflowers that sadly I had to cut down. And I mean, look at these stalks, guys. They're huge. These things are huge. And there were so many little baby ones that I didn't even know were there. But I've got a bucket. I threw a little bit of rainwater in there from my rain barrel. So these are the flowers that I'm saving. I'm probably going to cut a couple more off of this guy. I'm going to try and leave him and see what happens. I've never trimmed a sunflower, but I cut a good bit off of this guy so that I'd have a little path. So that's the keep flowers. I'm going to make a little bouquet. These, I already had, the big ones were already in there from a different sunflower, but I've got quite a few heads in there where I'm going to try and save some seeds. If anybody's interested in some Mexican sunflower seeds that make this, let me know. I'm going to have those. But I am keeping the patch that was over here. These guys are outside the bed, so they're fine. I trimmed a couple. I'm going to leave these guys. I trimmed it so that I'd have workspace. I'm leaving him. I trimmed him as well. The rest I pulled out, and as you can see, this bed's still good. That's the one that was the potatoes. I'll probably pluck a few more things out of here. But this one is probably going to be carrots. I'm going to take a look at what it is in there. Make sure it's all loose, because I don't want weird bent carrots, but that's probably what I'm going to get no matter what I do. If they even grow. I've never done carrots. This bed, however, as you can see from the neighbor's yard, I've got all these briars coming. I hate briars. I hate those things. So I should have some leather gloves delivered later today that are supposedly good, because I hate getting stuck by those guys, but I've got to get them out of there. If anybody knows how to get rid of this crap, please let me know. I've done the vinegar and dish soap and all that crap. I've tried all of those things, the natural stuff, over the counter. They don't help. They don't work. This stuff laughed at it. So, I need to know what else to do. I'm going to leave that for now. When we did the yard, when I brought in the skid steer, we had moved all of our pool stuff and all of our lounge stuff over here. And we're going to go through it when Jen's here tomorrow. So I'm not even going to mess with that crap right now. I've got enough to do. So hopefully I can get that cleared out and make this bed. There's not much in it. There's a couple little logs at the bottom and some mulch. I ran out of soil. Didn't have soil for this one either. And then I'm trying to separate stuff. This is my huge pile of these trees. I hate these guys. They just pop up everywhere. So in just a little bit of time, we did a decent amount of work. I'm proud of myself. It's been a good day. All right, 1 of 3 beds filled. I might not end up with enough soil to completely fill it, but I do have, I think, 2 bags of topsoil that I can throw in here. There's a few chunks. I'm going to try and break it up more. Everything that was already existing, I broke up as much as I could. I had to dig out one of the sunflower roots. The other one I couldn't get out. That crap is like in there. But here we go, 1 bed filled. Sadly, I don't have enough space to get my wheelbarrow in here, so we're shoveling it. And these guys keep getting in the way, especially this one. But I still don't want to cut them down. So 1 shovel load at a time is going to fill these. So it's going to take longer than expected. And that one back there, I'm going to see if I can fix it because it's crooked as hell. So I went with the concrete cylinders because they last forever. I didn't do the rebar stakes and I didn't have the ground completely perfect. So it's not a perfect raised bed and it's not aesthetically pleasing. I'm hoping to one day maybe get them painted, make them look a little better or something, if that's a project Jen wants to do with me. But yeah, this is what we got. She's not pretty, but she's efficient. This is probably going to be my carrot bed, just because I was able to break up all the stuff in the bottom a little better. And I tried to fill it a little higher. I don't know how high I'm going to be able to fill those. So yeah, we're going to see what happens. I'm super excited. There we go. Bed number 2 is done. It's not quite as high as this one, but I want to try and hopefully make sure I have enough soil to put in the 3rd one to be able to do something with it. I do have, I looked, 2 bags of topsoil that I can mix in. So if I have to go buy a couple bags, that'll be all right. I want 3 beds. Was hoping to be able to make another bed, but with the sunflowers and all that stuff that we've got to move and go through, I don't have space for another one. But I got 2, so I've got at least 1 carrot bed and 1 potato bed. So this is a lot of work, but I'm truly enjoying it. The ice cream truck just came through the neighborhood, and every time I hear that, I'm just like, it brings back my childhood. It's not, unfortunately, it's not a true ice cream truck. It's like a slushy truck, an icy or something. I've never been at it, but they just went down the street. When they come back, I think I might try it for the first time, if I see anything I like, because I'm doing a lot of hard work. It cost me nothing but the gas and my time, and I'm excited. Jen laughs at me sometimes, because it's just the smallest things just make me so happy. And getting free dirt and being able to fill my beds makes me very happy. So we're going to try and get number 3 done, and then we're probably going to call it a day. I might come out and get these planted. I really need to. So we're just going to see how this 3rd one goes, and there's supposed to be rain in 45 minutes. So we'll see. Eventually I'll get the weed whacker and take care of that. But I did end up just cutting the briars, and I threw them all in that pile, because that crap's just got to go. But we'll see. We'll see what I get done. Alright, I just want y'all to listen. I don't know where it's at. It usually circles back. It sounds like it's coming from both directions. I see it. Man, this just brings back my childhood. You know, when you're at the park and you're playing, you're having a good time, all of a sudden you start hearing that noise. You're like, Mom, Dad, can I get some? And then like all the kids run over. There it is. So whenever he comes back, he's doing the circle. I think I'm going to stop him and see what he's got. But listen, hopefully you can hear it. Also, I cut my grass yesterday and it looks like crap. I didn't get the weed eater out yet because it got to me, but I got to get all that extra grass up, throw that in the compost. But there's a look at the garden. So we still have the wildflowering. I need a weed eat over there. But the tomatoes, we're getting tomatoes every day. We're getting some cucumbers. We're making some pickles. It's doing pretty good. All my neighbors are probably like, what the heck is she doing? But I don't care. Come on, ice cream truck. All right, that's a wrap. I don't really have a truck bed broom, and I think Jen would kill me if I used the broom from the house. So there's still a decent amount of dirt in these grooves, but I don't have the time to try and get all of this out of here, especially since I don't have a good broom, because that storm is coming. So I need to get this little bit put out. Gosh, that cloud is so pretty. I'm weird. I'm really turning weird. But get this put out. It's almost going to fill the third bed. But I have 2 bags of soil, so we're going to try and get that done before this rain. Fingers crossed that I can get this stuff planted before the rain, because the rain will just water it and I don't have to. So we'll see. If anybody has any cool tips or tricks of how to clean your truck bed, let me know, because it's a mess and I've never done this before. So probably buy a truck bed broom, y'all think? I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments. All right, the third one's not completely full. It was the lowest. That was about a wheelbarrow and a half. But the others look pretty good. It's still not raining, but it's coming. I'm gonna run inside and grab the potatoes and the carrots and try and get them in. I can't even tell you how proud I am and how accomplished I feel. I love doing this kind of stuff. I like getting my hands in the dirt. And studies show that when you stick your hand in soil, it releases, I think, serotonin, don't quote me, but a bunch of good stuff. And supposedly, gardening helps you live longer. I don't know. So, here we go. Fingers crossed we get a good harvest out of this. Again, I've never done carrots. I'll show you how that goes. Alright guys, everything is planted. So help me remember, in this bed and half of that bed, we have these heirloom carrots. So I put a little marker. What I did was I put 3 rows in here. I'll likely have to thin them out. And then in this bed in the middle, I have my potatoes. Oh, it's starting to rain, good. And then almost this whole strip is these carrots. And then the last little bit in that row and that entire bed are these carrots. So fingers crossed. I think it looks decent. So after the rain, where the carrots are in all the beds, I'll cover those with cardboard, because you need to keep the moisture in. And then once they start to sprout in anywhere from 7 to 21 days, that's a nice little gap there. Then I'll remove the cardboard and let them do their thing. I'll probably have to thin them a little bit if they're too close to each other. But I'm pretty proud of that. So this is what it looks like when you actually do work. I watch a lot of influencers, a lot of people that garden, and I try and learn from them, because, I mean, I'm no pro. I learn something new every day. And I never see them sweaty or dirty or anything. And I'm like, you said you just did, sorry about Phil. You said you just did X, Y, and Z. Like, why are you so clean? So this is legit. I literally just finished it. And the thing that pisses me off, you know, nobody's here to help me. Which, that's not what pisses me off. I actually really enjoy this stuff, and I like the solitude. Sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I don't. Today it was a brain day. But I took my time. I told my wife, I was like, I'm being very, very cautious of my body mechanics. But I was able to move all of that soil. I helped load it. Disregard my grass. I cut part of it and then my back gave out. But anyways, I was able to do all that soil. What just got my back was bending over to plant the seeds. So now I feel like crap. But I got to check on my chickens real quick. Because this rain is finally starting to come. But I can do the hard stuff a lot of the time. It's the easy stuff that gets me, and I still don't understand that. But I mean, it makes sense. It's the disc, and so bending over messes it up. But it's frustrating. So here, I'm gonna flip this around. Watch what the chickens do every time I open this. There's that little patch of grass, and they always want it. So sometimes I'll just stand here and let them peck it around for a little bit, but I really need to sit. Excuse me, ladies. Pardon me, mamas. Pardon me. Pardon me. I know, I'm so sorry. No, move your face, baby. Alright, we have water. Do we have eggs? We have 2! So that means I have 2 laying. I thought it was just 1. And look how clean they are, because this thing, it's got the rollout tray. So I shouldn't have an issue with them trying to brood. And, I mean, those are pretty clean eggs. Jen and I have not tried them yet. I think with these 2, it makes either 7 or 8. Good job, mamas! Which one? That one. That's the one that bit the crap out of me. That's the one I keep seeing going in here. So I'm pretty sure she's one that's laying. I don't know who else. They want treats. That one's going to peck me. Dolly Parton, what are you doing? Oh, no, you're mean. You don't bite me. Don't you bite me. Ouch. Hey, shithead. Why are you so much more aggressive? Drink your water and eat your own food. Leave me alone. Thanks for the egg. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go sit down for a little bit, probably take my medicine, and just cool off. But this is how I spent my 6 months. So, stop biting me. Stop it. You're not getting anything. Stop it. I'll fuck you up. No, I was just kidding. Alright, rain's coming. Y'all be good. Bye.